for Chicago, here's Stacey Dales.
Given the injury to quarterback Mitch Trubisky's throwing shoulder this week for the Bears, all eyes point towards the backup, Chase Daniel, who hasn't started a game in the National Football League since 2014. But he also has at least 5 years accrued in this offensive system. Of course, 3 in Kansas City with then positional coach Matt Nagy, a year in Philadelphia, and now with the Chicago Bears. He told me this week in the locker room, I know this offense like the back of my hand. I asked tight end Trey Burton, who spent a season with Daniel in Philadelphia, what does he bring to the table? He said knowledge, leadership, he understands what to do, he knows where to go with the football in open space, and he knows how to read a defense. You get the sense with these Chicago Bears, they like their odds with Chase Daniel.
I mean, Chase Daniel has been around the NFL, but this will only be his 3rd career start on national TV on the best football holiday of them all. Let's bring in Kurt Warner here, who knows a thing or two about cashing in on an opportunity when the starter goes down. Kurt, how much, if at all, does the Bears' scheme change with Chase Daniel going in instead of Trubisky?
Well, Scott, I don't know if the scheme is going to change that much, but when you watch the Bears, there's been a couple things that have been, I think, catalysts offensively to them winning. Trubisky's made some big throws, but he hasn't made big mistakes, and he's made a lot of plays with his legs. When things fall apart, a lot of first downs, a lot of big plays with his legs. And so that becomes the question for me with Chase Daniel, is that he can make some throws. I've seen him do some really good things in this league, but he also has the ability to give a couple away. And that's what you can't do in this setting. So protect the football, and I think they can get a win anyways.
Okay, Kurt, we follow you on social media, and we saw your tweet. If Drew Brees does not win the MVP, it will be a travesty. And I know there are some other deserving candidates you put in there. Command of the game, command of the ball all season has been masterful. Can't get enough of watching his film. We let you now on national TV continue your 140 characters on Drew Brees.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not going to say a Patrick Mahomes doesn't deserve it or a Todd Gurley, but I just think Drew Brees deserves at least a part of it. He has been incredible this year when you watch the way he throws the football, when you watch the way he gets through his progressions, just strictly playing the quarterback position, not just about touchdowns, not about wow throws, but just playing the quarterback position. Nobody is playing it better, and he's got stats to back it up, even though they're not as gaudy as some of the other guys. But I believe he deserves a part of this award, assuming everything stays the same for the last 5-6 weeks of the season.
Let me throw out a name real quick. Aaron Donald, MVP candidate?
In this NFL, Scott, I'm going to say no. I know he made a couple big plays on Monday night, but it's all about the offense. And as long as you have offensive guys putting up the numbers that they're putting up, I don't believe Aaron Donald gets in the conversation. He's good. He's a difference maker. But when you don't make a play or you don't have the ball in your hands on every play and other guys are playing well when they do that, I think it's going to be hard for him to be considered.
Kurt Warner, never been friendly with good inside pass rush defensive tackles. Kurt, thanks. Stand by. Your top 5 coming up a little bit later on.
All right, so that Rams game on Monday, not enough to put Donald over the top for Kurt, but it did keep LA at the top in the NFC playoff picture, though that could change quickly. As you see here, the Saints are just a half game back. Rams have a bye this week. New Orleans has a head-to-head win in hand, and they've got a game against the Falcons tomorrow that could move them into pole position for home field advantage, so long as they win on their home field tomorrow. Tiffany Blackman has more on that. She's in Metairie.
Saints rookie receiver Traquan Smith is coming off of his best game of the season, 157 yards and a touchdown in that win against the Eagles. Something Smith talked about today was just how instrumental Drew Brees has been in his success. Smith said, with Drew, you were never covered in his eyes. He knows how to manipulate a defense and put the ball where only you can get it. He then said, as a young receiver, I need that because my game is not always there. The Saints are hoping that Smith can go tomorrow. He is questionable, along with defensive end Marcus Davenport. And sticking with injuries, left tackle Teron Armstead is out, and so is Falcons linebacker Deion Jones, who was activated from IR last week. He will not make his return against his hometown team.
Another big divisional showdown tomorrow for the division lead, Washington, Dallas at AT&T Stadium. Winner moves into the driver's seat. Cowboys lost to the Redskins back in Week 7. It was Dak Prescott's first loss to the Redskins in his career. But as Jane Slater reports from Frisco, a lot has changed since then.
The significance of this game is not lost on either the Cowboys or the Redskins heading into this one on Thursday, but they both look very different from their last contest when they met in October. For the Redskins, of course, they've got a new quarterback in Colt McCoy following the injury to Alex Smith. And then for the Cowboys, well, they've made changes to their offensive line. Gone is Paul Alexander, their O-line coach, and in is Mark Colombo, their former offensive lineman. They've also made a change at left guard in Xavier Suafilo, who is allowing this offensive line to get the protection up front that Ezekiel Elliott has been looking for. Both Elliott and quarterback Dak Prescott touched on this week, saying that Elliott is finally finding the grooves again, finding those holes and making people miss. But he's not just making people miss, he's getting to the secondary and converting those things into touchdowns.
I think we definitely put ourselves in a situation. This game is for, getting that number one spot in the division, and I think it's definitely a big game for us, and it's really important for us to, go out there and do whatever we can to win this game so it can set us up for the rest of the season.
The Redskins' run defense is stout, though, ranked 6th in the league. Guys like Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen are certainly capable of shutting down opposing offenses.
Good stuff, Jane, and we will see you again tomorrow, a 4:30 start time for that game. Whoever has the most points 3 hours later will also have control of the division, and the last three teams to have that control after Week 12 went on to win the division. William Guinness, James Jones, who's going to be?
You going at me first?
Yeah.
I'm going with the boys. I like what the Cowboys has been doing the last couple of weeks. And when you look at the Washington Redskins, their team has been in the decline. Whether it's points scored, whether it's the way the injuries, the things that are piling up that are making it hard for them to win. And when I look at the Washington Redskins, it's a certain style to me they have to play to win football games. I don't think teams that get out in front of them, they can fight with. They don't have the firepower on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense is good, and I know what they do. But when looking at the Cowboys and what they've done with Zeke and the receivers and the volume, I think it all starts with Zeke. The volume of touches, 55 touches in the last couple of weeks. He's had almost 400 yards of scrimmage yards, which means he's not only being productive, but he's opening up things for the other players offensively. I think Dak has settled in. He's starting to use his feet and his vision, and he's got more guys to distribute the ball to, with Amari Cooper and Gallup stepping up and Beasley starting to fill in his role.
I have to disagree with you, Willie. I got to go with the Redskins. I like the Redskins, and I like the addition of Colt McCoy. Listen, they're in a good situation. Nothing changes for the Washington Redskins. Coach, you go out there, don't turn the ball over, make some throws, which he has done all his career. Him and Alex Smith average the same passing yards per game, 209 per game. So nothing is going to change. He's been in the system for 4 years. Take care of the ball. We're going to run it, and we're going to play defense. You just heard Jane say they have the 6th ranked rushing defense, so I think they're going to stop Zeke like they stopped him last time they played. I think this is the Redskins division. I think they find a way to get to 10 wins. They're going to win this game, and I think they're going to win this division. I could see this Colt McCoy situation ending up being like a Case Keenum situation last year with the Minnesota Vikings.
It's not even the same, though. When you look at the production and how they play, first of all, you got the injuries, okay? So the rush has been down. They was averaging, 120-some yards. Now they're down just over 100 yards rushing. With the injuries to the offensive line, that directly impacts the way they want to play, whether it's protection, if they want to air it out with Colt, or running the football. I like Colt. He's not Alex Smith. I'm not going to put him on that level.
They close.
But I just think it's going to be tough. And I think if Dallas jumps out in front, it's
hopefully help is on the way for the offensive line. You get your best, you tackle back.
If you get Trent back, then
you'll be all right.
It's a little help.
Redskins 1-7 against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. We'll see if they can turn that around tomorrow.
That's why you got your Redskins.
Sounds like James thinks they will.
Lindsay,
Willie
look at her.
thinks that they won't.
She just didn't tell you.
Fun night last night on NFL Network. The Gold Jacket semifinalists presented by Kay Jewelers revealed right here on our air 25 names that remain in consideration for this year's Hall of Fame class, including Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, and Ed Reed, who are all eligible for the first time this year. Obviously, that makes them first-time semifinalists, as are Tom Flores and Zach Thomas. Everyone else on this list has made it this far at least once, and we will find out who makes it even further on January 3rd. 15 finalists announced on that day. Meanwhile, in Cincinnati, an announcement that will make Bengals fans pretty happy. According to Marvin Lewis, A.J. Green will return to practice this week and will likely play on Sunday. The head coach saying that the wideout, who's missed 2 games with a toe injury, is ready to get back to work. Bengals have the Browns at home. Raiders are on the road at Baltimore. And according to Derek Carr, they are trying to win the game, not the first overall pick.
I just want to win. I want to, mess up the draft. I don't want the first pick. I want to win all these games. So, I want everybody to be mad at me for that. That's what I want to accomplish.
Raiders-Ravens, a Sunday game at 1. All of the games involving these players are tomorrow, or not involving these players. In the case of Mitchell Trubisky, who is doubtful for Bears-Lions with a shoulder injury. Kerryon Johnson and Marvin Jones both out for that one for the Lions. Trent Williams questionable for the Redskins against the Cowboys, who also listed Tyron Smith as questionable, though Jerry Jones says that he expects him to be in the lineup. Is there room on Kurt Warner's top 5 for both of these guys from Monday night?
On a night that LA will never forget.
The case for 891 yards and 10 touchdowns. The case against, well, this and that and all of those others. And is it just possible we're about to have an Eli Manning sighting?
We can guarantee a Tom Brady sighting. Back at practice after a week off. We'll have a Patriots report.
Thursday, biggest decision. It ain't turkey or ham. It's who to sit and who to start in fantasy. And we'll help you with that.
Plus, why James Jones says the Saints are in trouble.
Matchups, man, matchups.
Lucky for him, Boom and Zoom were mic'd up before the doom and gloom.
Big boy, no little boy.
That's still to come on NFL Total Access.
NFL Total Access is delivered by Papa John's. Double cheeseburger pizza is back. Large, just $11.